Now, what is quality of life? The first thing that comes to my mind is providing somebody with a good paying job and a rewarding career will most certainly improve the quality of their life. So a lot of what we focus on are grants to help support infrastructure and other things related to economic development projects. We were recently awarded $500,000 from the Appalachian Regional Commission, or the ARC as we call them. This is a special federal agency that covers what they define as the Appalachian region, and we are included in that. And they love to fund projects that help to spur economic development. We just got an award from them, again, $500,000, to support upgrades to the Hurricane Creek pump station located on Clemson Boulevard. Now that pump station there is very, very important. It has reached its capacity and we need this money to upgrade it. It's going to end up providing improved sewer service and more reliable service to a lot of residential customers over there. Recently we were awarded $130,000 in State Workforce Investment Act funding, and we use this money to hire somebody who works in our Economic Development Office who serves as our re-entry coordinator. What this person does is they establish contact with persons who are currently incarcerated but are due to be released in the very near future. And this person works with those people and does assessments as to their job skills and what their prospects might be once they are released from their obligations, and tries to help them make that transition from incarceration to gainful employment. If we can serve 10 people through this program and get them into real careers, that easily covers the costs that the public has invested into this program. Our new airport terminal, that again was funded by the Appalachian Regional Commission, along with the South Carolina Aeronautics Commission and the South Carolina Department of Commerce. All of these agencies put in a substantial amount of funding, as did the county, because we see our airport terminal as being one of the most important economic development engines we have. A lot of important decision makers who are trying to decide where to build their next facility, they'll come visit Anderson. First thing they're going to see is Anderson Regional Airport's terminal. It's the welcome mat for a lot of people coming into our community. We spent a total of about $6 million in what we call local access road funding. That is made available by the federal government for road construction projects that specifically help to make possible large-scale industrial and manufacturing operations. We used this money to support all those new roads you see over at TTI, the construction of which was assisted by the federal government through this program. Very fortunate to be able to access that. And to be able to access those funds, we had to demonstrate, of course, what this impact would be of TTI would be to our community. The county was offered $6 million in emergency rental assistance program money. This was made available through the legislation related to COVID relief. A lot of jurisdictions decided we don't feel like we can handle, this kind of program, and their money went to the state, which runs the state housing office, which runs a program statewide. We thought about it, and we've got with our friends over at AIM, who are already doing this kind of program, and we worked with them to where we are able to do our own local program here. If somebody is in need of emergency rental or utility assistance, is at threat of eviction, is at threat of having utilities cut off, they can make contact with AIM, and AIM will work with them to try to help them get caught up on their rent and their utilities and put them on a more sustainable path. I think that's very important because we've had well over $1 million in assistance money that we have made available to our local residents just in the past couple of months that this program has been available. We do some what we call CDBG projects, Community Development Block Grant. We were recently awarded $300,000 in traditional CDBG funds, which we are going to use to tear down hopefully about 10 structures in the Homeland Park community, which are vacant and derelict and substandard. They really need to come down. We were recently awarded almost $300,000 from a special CDBG coronavirus relief fund. We worked with some of our community partners to put together a package of programs assisting people with getting rides to work, food bank assistance, mental health first aid, a variety of assistance to veterans, domestic violence victims, substance abuse, trauma victims. We've even thrown in, as part of this program, some funding for something very special that our county Special Population Recreation Program wants to do. The director, Kathy Schofield, approached me with an idea to see if there would be funding to where she could do a virtual program that would take care of qualifying special needs adults. We presented this to CDBG as a pilot program, and they signed off on it. I'm very excited about that one coming together. The federal government is very interested in funding broadband access. Most of Anderson County, according to various sources, is well served by the internet access, but there are several places that are not. We've talked to citizens from several communities throughout who either don't have internet at all or else the service is substandard. So right now we are working on a countywide broadband assessment, and we're going to use that as guidance for us to prepare funding proposals that we will send to the National Telecommunications Infrastructure Administration. They are making grants available later this year that we hope to compete for, and hope that we can work with a telecom provider with these grant funds in order to bring broadband to eligible areas. With some grant programs, we are not eligible to apply for them, but a partner might be. And in this case, WCTEL approached us. Some people know that they do broadband activity down in the Iva area and in an increasing part of Anderson County. They had an opportunity to compete for some state-level broadband money that would help to bring service to the area around grits and groceries. They came to us and said, "Does this sound like a good idea?" We said, "Yes," because we've been told by several people out there they don't have broadband. So we provided some technical assistance to them. They prepared the actual application and did the project, but this was an example of a partnership. Tourism and associated industries. They contribute $287 million every year to the county's gross domestic product. Probably next time that comes out, it'll probably be $300 million. A lot of people know that over the past several years, we've been doing a lot of work out on the Saluda River. For many years, locals knew about the Saluda River, but this was really kind of a hidden gem that is a regional amenity. How can we take advantage of this? Fortunately, that was the start of a long and fruitful partnership with the Duke Energy Foundation. They fell in love with the idea of improving access, especially for persons with physical challenges, to go down the Saluda River. Later on this year, we're going to have an official grand opening of our newest launch, which is improvements down at Belton Landing. They're on Cooley Bridge Road. And those improvements, again, a partnership with our great friends at the Duke Energy Foundation. Green Pond Landing, since it's opened back in 2015, has had an economic impact exceeding $70 million. And we owe it all to these tournaments that come in addition to people who come from all over the region, not participating in tournaments, but just to be able to access Lake Hartwell. We've received literally millions in grant support from federal programs as well as state-based programs that come out of SCDNR, such as the Game and Fish Fund and the Water Recreation Resource Fund. We've also received assistance from SCPRT, most recently in the form of an Undiscovered SC grant, which helps with facility development at tourism generators like Green Pond Landing. SCPRT also helps us with a program called the STAR program. We use this money to help defray some of the county's costs that are associated with staging of these events. And through that, we are able to keep the county's exposure very, very negligible for the support that we provide for tournaments coming in. But these tournaments, in return, give us such a big return on our public investment. We've spent several years working on the cleanup of the old Toxaway and Riverside mill sites. We have just finished all that stuff. Got a little weeding we need to do, but we received a lot of grant money from the Environmental Protection Agency to help us do that project. And I so look forward to that being totally completed and turned into a community amenity.